Health Diary, brought to you by Brookside Dairy Plus. Live Life Plus with Brookside.
Whew. Maybe there's someone who's watching me and thinking, Winnie, you're doing it all wrong. Hello, it's good to see you right here on Health Diary. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and today we'll be focusing on protein for muscle building. And that is the reason why I'm holding this dumbbell. We are here at Alpha Fit, and we'll be focusing on understanding what role do proteins play as far as muscle building. And first of all, what exactly are muscles? Why do you need to exercise your muscles? And what role does milk play when it comes to muscle building? Well, all that is coming up after the fact of the matter.
Proteins are made up of building blocks called amino acids. There are about 20 different amino acids that link together in different combinations, which the body uses to make new proteins such as muscle and bone and other compounds such as enzymes and hormones. However, there are 9 amino acids that the body cannot make, and they're known as essential amino acids. These need to be included in the diet so that the body can function.
All right, let's talk about building muscle and the role that proteins play when it comes to the same. And today's show has been sponsored by Brookside Plus, Live Life Plus. And we just want to understand, when we talk about building muscle, what exactly does that mean? And first of all, what exactly is a muscle, okay? And the guest that we have today is a resident at this point. We have George Omolo, who's the president, Kenya Nutrition and Dietetics Students Association, joining us for this very important conversation. And we are in a gym, in case you did not see. And George, it's good to see you in a different attire.
Rhyme with the environment.
Right? The
yes.
suits aside today, we're in a gym, right? It's so good to see you.
Thank
How
you.
are you doing? How have you been?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me once
Karibu
again.
sana. So we're talking about building muscle today. But first of all, can we just understand muscle? How important is it to the body, and why do we need to exercise muscle?
So muscles are soft tissues in the body that are composed of muscle fibers, which has unique property to relax and to contract.
Okay.
So that relaxation and contraction makes the body able to move around, maintain posture, and even to circulate blood. So that's why muscle is very important. So to give our body structure, to move around, and even to enable blood circulation in the body.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So understanding that, then it goes to say exercising the muscle is important, because if you don't exercise, it wastes.
Correct.
So what does wasting look like?
So wasting actually means when you lose your muscle, you lose your muscle mass.
Okay.
So you become a little bit weaker. So you might find even posture becomes difficult. Sometimes even your body structure also becomes impaired in a way. So that's why you need muscle mass. You need to have full functional muscle, so that your bodily functions also can continue.
Okay.
Yes, as
All
desired.
right. I see that. So then when we're talking about building, what do we need to build muscle?
Muscles.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, you need diversified diets to build muscles, but one of the most important is protein. Yeah, because proteins are the building blocks of muscles, and we say that because protein helps in muscle repair, strengthening of the muscle, also helps in circulation of blood. Hormone production like testosterone is very much needed for energy. So all those protein helps in that.
Okay. All right. So is there like a specific type of protein, and just for people to understand that when we're talking about protein is essential, is there a specific type?
Yes. So proteins, when we talk about proteins, we can categorize them into 2.
Okay.
So we have what we call complete proteins and incomplete proteins.
Okay.
So complete proteins has all the 9 essential amino acids which we need for our body full recovery post-exercise, and even to build muscle mass. Then we have what we call incomplete proteins. So these are proteins which do not have all the 9 essential amino acids.
Okay.
So they may lack 1 or 2.
All right.
And most of the time they are plant-based proteins. Complete ones are the animal sources.
Okay. All right. So then how much protein do I need to build muscle? Yeah.
All right. So for a normal person who is not active, you need about 0.8 gram per kg body weight protein intake on a daily basis.
Okay.
So this simply means, for example, if you are weighing maybe 70 kg, and you need to know how much protein you need to take. Just take 70 multiplied by 0.8. So whatever figure you get, that's the amount of protein you should take by end of day.
Okay.
Now, if you are an athlete or training, then you may need much more, which is a range between 1.6 to 2.1 gram per kg body weight. So it depends again with the kind of exercise you're doing. Are you doing exercise to gain strength, or you are doing it to cut fat and maintain muscle? So again, it depends.
Okay. All right, depends on what you're doing. Okay, and then so we hear plant-based protein and we hear animal protein. So is this a factor when we're thinking about building muscle? Yeah.
It's a factor because when you talk about animal sources of protein, they are complete protein sources, which means they contain all the 9 essential amino acids. Okay. And for bodybuilders, on all the 9 essential amino acids, there's one that is very important. We call leucine. Leucine is very important for somebody who wants to build mass or muscles, because what it does is that it activates the pathways for protein mass synthesis.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but incomplete, but the fact that it doesn't contain all the 9 essential amino acids, but it's good also to have it. So you need to combine the two.
Okay.
Have your animal proteins together with the plant-based.
With the plant-based.
So that you can have a complete protein profile.
Interesting. Okay. So let's talk about some of the sources for protein. I know the ones that we learned about in school, but yes, just to remind us the different sources of protein.
Yes. So, for example, when you talk about animal sources, the most common ones we can have meat.
Yeah.
Meat can be of different sources. We can have beef, poultry, pork, goat. Then we have fish. Fish also from tilapia, all these fish sources. Then we have eggs, another good source of protein. Yeah. Then we have dairy products, milk and dairy products. So those are what we classify as animal protein sources.
Okay.
Then when it comes to plant protein sources, we have things like legumes, the beans, the lentils, and such. Then we have nuts and groundnuts. Then we have soya. Soya is another good source. Then we have all grains, which millet, sorghum, maize, and so forth.
All right.
Yeah. So those are what we call plant-based.
Okay.
So it's good when you have all of them. So it will give you a complete protein profile that you need as a bodybuilder, but even as a normal person, not necessarily.
It's important. Yeah. Okay. So can we stick with milk for a second, because milk is a staple in so many homes across the country. So how much of protein do we have when we're talking about milk, and why is it important to consider when you're thinking about building muscle mass?
Okay. So milk is very important because milk has what we call the 3 R's of post-exercise recovery. One is rehydrate. The first R is to rehydrate. Milk has water and electrolytes. The electrolytes, which is potassium, sodium, and calcium, which helps to balance, the fluid and electrolytes in balance. So another one is repair. So during exercises, especially resistant exercises, our muscles tend to tear. The muscle fibers will tear.
Yeah.
Because there's macroscopic tear when you put too much pressure on your muscles.
In your muscle, yeah. Is that why we feel pain?
That's why you feel pain and soreness after exercise.
After exercising, yeah.
And see that you need to recover from that. So milk becomes a very nice post-exercise recovery drink because of the whey protein it has. Whey protein is a fast digesting protein, so to be able to deliver amino acid fast to the muscles, to be able to to rebuild it and rejuvenate the muscle very fast.
Okay.
And again, why milk is important. Apart from whey, we also have casein, which is a slow digesting protein. So this becomes important during your resting period at bedtime.
Okay.
Because at bedtime, it's what we call a fasting period, where you need also the muscle to recover. So casein, since it's a slow digesting protein, it will deliver amino acids at a very slow pace, sustained pace, to cover you throughout the night.
Oh, okay.
So your muscle will be able to recover throughout that time. So by the time you wake up, the soreness will have
it's
reduced.
a bit,
Yeah.
So what are some of the other essential proteins that are good for muscle building?
Yeah, so like we said, you need meat to consume meat. For example, in the Kenyan setup, you have ugali, which is a staple food. Ugali is a very good source because it's a complex carbohydrate. It will be able to give you sustained energy throughout the day. Also, you can also use it post-exercise, maybe at dinner, because for the resting period, it's good to have that.
Okay.
You also can, apart from ugali, which is common, you can also use things like fruits. And remember what you also need to note that I know we put much more emphasis on proteins and for muscle building and resistant exercise, but you need to incorporate all the other foods.
Okay.
You need to have your vegetables right, because again, you're looking at having nutrients which are rich in inflammation properties and oxidative properties. Fruits will give you that. Colorful fruits, for that matter. They have to be colorful fruits.
The more color,
the
better.
better.
Okay.
In fact, you say the rainbow colors.
Yeah.
Yes. Then lean proteins. So lean protein has all the it's very rich in protein, but has very low, saturated fats or cholesterol. And that's what somebody who's building weight needs to, building mass. And like low fat milk or fat-free milk is a very good source of lean protein.
Okay.
If somebody who wants to build, muscles, or an athlete can use as an alternative source.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
There was that question about eggs and taking raw eggs before workout. Is that safe? Is that recommended?
All right, I think it's good to say from the beginning that raw eggs is very nutrient dense. It has complete protein, carbohydrates, minerals, and vitamins. That is a fact that cannot be disputed.
Okay.
But nevertheless, there are some disadvantages. First of all, you look at protein absorption.
So raw
The
eggs.
absorption of proteins in raw eggs is less efficient compared to the absorption in cooked eggs.
Okay.
The absorption of protein in raw eggs is 50%, but in cooked eggs, it's absorbed 90%.
Ooh.
So look at the difference in absorption.
Okay.
So you're better off consuming cooked eggs because the absorption rate will be so high.
Okay.
Secondly, why it's not advisable, if you look at what we call biotin absorption. So raw eggs has what we call avidin. Avidin is a protein that blocks the absorption of biotin or vitamin B7. So which means if you take raw eggs, you'll be deficient of biotin, B7, unlike when you take cooked eggs.
Cooked eggs. Yeah.
Although I know the deficiency may be insignificant, but look at this, when you talk about people who are training, they consume a lot of eggs, sometimes even 6 in a single meal. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So you may be deficient of biotin in the long run. So we recommend you consume cooked eggs vis-a-vis raw eggs. And then again, raw eggs they have salmonella bacteria in them. So you have high probability of suffering food poisoning from raw eggs.
Okay.
So you're looking at all those reasons, we'll recommend you just use cooked eggs vis-a-vis raw eggs.
Okay.
In any way, there's no advantage
Okay.
to shallow frying.
And how many in one sitting? How many of the cooked, and when you say cooked, what exactly does that mean? Boiled, fried, deep fried, people deep fry eggs?
Yeah, boiled eggs would be better.
Okay, boiled eggs is better.
But again,
Okay.
it depends on the meal sitting. If boiled eggs will do well in breakfast or even as an in-between snacks,
Okay.
then maybe if you're doing your lunch or dinner, you can now fry the eggs.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah.
How much in one sitting?
How much in one sitting, again, depends on the kind of exercise you're doing, probably how much you want to gain, how much proteins you want to gain at the end of the day. So that is dependent. But you can go minimum 3, for example, in your breakfast.
Okay.
You can do minimum of 3. But you can also do high. Depends on your protein needs.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
all right. And it's safe to say that Brookside Plus, they have all this, like you said, lactose-free, low-fat, fat-free, yogurt, all those things, and also plant-based.
Yes.
The soy and almond, Brookside Plus has it. And again, just to make sure that the show today has been sponsored by Brookside Plus, and it's all about Live Life Plus. So as we finish with you, because we also need to have Webster to tell us, now on the gym aspect and the building muscle, fermented milk products, very quickly. Are they also okay when it comes to building muscle or not?
Yes, fermented milk products are very good. Of course, yogurts fall under that. They're very
okay.
good for building muscles.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will help to replenish the the glycogen stores. But I think also it's important to make. There are 2 points I need to make, which are very important for people, athletes. If you look at post-workout recovery, we emphasize on the quality of protein, protein timing, and protein distribution. So when you talk about protein timing, we look at the dose and frequency. So we recommend you take at least 20 grams of protein every 3 hours
All right.
for a 12-hour recovery period.
All right.
Because that will give you sustained, recovery that you need. Secondly, you may find people like maybe the elderly or somebody who was an athlete, an active one, but because of one reason or another, they stop practicing, probably due to injury or surgery or such. So for those kind of individuals, probably who have been out for quite some time and they want to go back and start training, and because they've been out, they've experienced muscle loss.
Yeah.
They want to go back. So we encourage them to use complete protein. We have milk,
Yes.
but then they combine it together with antioxidants, these sources.
All right.
That will make sure that they regain the lost mass very fast
Very
after
fast.
immobilization.
Yeah. Okay, so as an LTech, this is your parting shot. Two parts to it. One on supplementation. You want to speak a little bit on the same, and then the other part would be on, is there such thing as consuming too much protein, and is there an impact on the same? And I'll take that as your parting shot.
All right.
Yeah.
Supplementation is okay. You can supplement, but again, depends also on your needs, on why you're practicing. But we recommend gaining all your new protein sources from foods. But because sometimes our cooking methods sometimes is not the appropriate one, so you can supplement. There's no problem supplementing.
Okay.
In terms of consumption of protein, yes, you can. Because when you've been recommended to take 1.6, 2.3, and you overconsume, remember it does not provide extra advantage to you.
Yeah.
You don't build excess muscle because you've consumed much.
Yeah.
If you've been given a limit, stick to your limit.
Okay.
And after all, you'll be overburdening your kidney. So you'll be bringing more problems than benefits.
Yeah.
So just stick to your protein regimen that you've been prescribed for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, George. So much to learn from you every single time you're here. Thank you so much, George Omono, who's the president of Kenya Nutrition and Dietetics Students Association. Right about now, we'll be joined by Webster Lukose, who's a weightlifting coach right here at Alpha Fit, just after this. All right, Webster, thank you so much for making the time and for hosting us today at Alpha Fit. Can we first of all just understand from you, all right, muscle, because today we're talking about building muscle and the role that protein, plays in the same. So what exactly does that look like to you? Because you are a weightlifting coach. So what exactly does that, when someone comes to you and says, I want to build muscle, what exactly does that say then to you?
Okay, first of all, it depends with your goals, but the basic of it is the main thing with muscle and health and fitness is that you need more of lean body mass in relation to the body fat that you have in your body. So there's a healthy level for both muscle and fat that you need in the body, rather that makes up the body.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious about you, okay, and what your meal plan then looks like, because you've been doing weightlifting for how long now?
15 years now.
15 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time. So then what does your typical, diet look like in a day?
It's very simple,
Okay.
because I'm Kenyan,
Yeah.
and I prefer more of organically grown food.
Produce food, okay.
So typically in the morning, I'd start with of course, milk, some hot milk. I like it better, and something light that's not so heavy to make me more dull,
Okay.
because I'm just starting my day.
Yeah.
So something like eggs as well, and some nuts, and some light carbohydrates like cassava or potatoes.
Okay.
And that's good for my day to start.
Okay.
And then midday, rather throughout the day, I snack. For example, something like yogurt or mala or a smoothie. Lunchtime, I get something like rice and beef or fish or chicken.
Okay.
Then dinner time, I also get a protein source, which can be animal protein
All right.
or plant protein, maybe beans, and some carbs as well to restore my energy, because I train midday.
Okay.
And in the evening, I usually don't eat, or rather I take like a glass of hot milk or coffee, or white coffee. I usually
Yeah.
like white coffee.
I was about to ask you about milk. It's like, do you take milk? Do you do that for your day? Yeah. How would you say milk has sort of helped you when it comes to building muscle? And what are the alternatives that you use as an individual, as a coach? Yeah.
Right. So first of all, milk is very convenient, readily available, and affordable. So I usually go for it. But personally, as an individual, I'm lactose intolerant. So
okay.
I'm a bit selective on what type of milk I use. So I usually use either lactose-free, or low-fat or fat-free milk. And mala as well works well for my stomach. And that's what I go for. And it really supplements my protein intake, so that at the end of the day, I've accumulated enough protein, depending on the amount of muscle mass that I have.
Fantastic. So someone who, say, wants to start, again, working out, but their main goal is to build muscle, where would you say they need to start?
Okay, first, brother, I'll take them straight to strength training.
Okay.
Yeah, strength training basically is any exercise that employs the exertion of external force against your body. That can be your own body weight or an external object. For example, barbells, dumbbells, plates, or your own body weight, for example, in case of a push-up or a pull-up, still strength training. Also using bands as well, because you're exerting force against that object, and in that essence, you're using your muscles to generate that force.
Okay.
And that makes your muscle strong as an adaptation to the work that you're doing.
Okay. So then how do you ensure that this person practices that safely to also avoid injury? Because there's that rush to build muscle, but then again, you know, you want to hasten the process and in turn end up with an injury. So how safely can people do it from where you stand?
First of all, I normally recommend someone to get a proper guide. That's the first thing. You got to assess the coach that he wants to help you through. I don't really advise. Of course, you can get to do it on your own, but it's not the safest way. What a guide does is minimize your risk of injury in the highest way possible, more than compared to lacking a guide. And then if you get a proper guide, they're going to employ a more structured approach in your training. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. Thank you so much, Webster, for hosting us and for all the wonderful
and then
insights
as well,
that you have.
the duration, training duration, for example, an hour is enough, which is inclusive of everything within an exercise regime. That can be 45 minutes of strength training, then 15 minutes is for warm-up and cool down.
I like that. So what is it that the common mistakes that you've seen people do when it comes to trying to build the muscle mass, and what is it that we need to avoid? And I'll take that as your parting shot.
First of all is getting improper information, whether misinformation, myths and misconception. And then secondly, I'll say is just ego. For example, you want to approach something, but you don't have full information or good information about what you are involving yourself, you're getting yourself into. So that exposes one to injury, for example. If you come to a gym, maybe you want to lift weights and you don't want to seek help, but you've seen others lifting, maybe you're watching TV or YouTube, then you come and do it, you're exposing yourself to injury. So unless you do some research on how to better approach it, or get a guide. And then another thing is a lack of proper nutrition, which is gonna be not so much beneficial if you, while putting yourself in maybe a tough exercise regime and not getting the proper nutrition, you're not really gonna realize a good benefit of it. Another thing can be maybe overtraining. So overtraining can be more detrimental rather than beneficial, to you. And then lastly, I'll say recovery as well. You can't be staying 24/7 up and really expect the body to respond well to the training regime. So you need to get some good sleep as well to allow the body to recover from the workload that you gave it.
I really like that, and especially on the sleep aspect, it's very important. But thank you so much, Webster. Webster Likose is a weightlifting coach right here at Alpha Fit. Thank you so much for hosting us today, and very, very beautiful insights over there. Well, time now for you to take a look at this health tip, but also to remind you that the show has been sponsored by Brookside Plus, where it's all about Live Life Plus.
On today's health tip, we're going to be talking about getting a proper guide. Wherever you're going, there's someone who has always been there before you, so it's best to get a coach to help guide you in a more efficient and safer way through your training program.
I'm just counting the number of calories that I'm burning over here. But hey, if you've reached this far on the show, I hope that you've learned so much from today's conversation. And one of the things, if you're really keen on building your muscle, instead of using protein powders and then mixing it with water, how about you try milk? Because what we've learned from our nutritionist today is that milk is complete protein, meaning it has all the essential amino acids that you need to build your muscle. But if you have any other question, engage with us on our socials, and that is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X. But for now, allow us to say goodbye. My name is Winnie Lubembe. A special thanks to Alpha Fit for hosting us today, and also Brookside Plus for sponsoring today's episode. Remember, with Brookside Plus, you live life plus. See you next week on Sunday.
Diary was brought to you by Brookside Dairy Plus. Live Life Plus with Brookside.
Brookside Plus probiotic yogurt provides you the goodness of good bacteria for a healthy gut and a good immune system.